Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh my goodness!
He's on the
Mic check 1, 2.
He's got kids in town, and I think that, are trying to see that. There was somebody here I really,
1, 2,
really
3,
liked,
4,
and it
5,
was
6,
because
7,
he
8, 9, 10.
represented.
Come with me for just a second.
Mic check 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4,
Talk 'em
5,
down,
6,
maybe?
7, 8, 9.
Yeah, he did. He went out the back door. Right. It's going to be a problem. That's all we need. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Board of Selectmen meeting on April the 2nd. It is 6:02 p.m., and I'm calling the meeting to order. The first item of business will be to approve the March 20th and 22nd Selectmen meeting minutes.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? It's a little slow.
I can hear the feedback in the
Yeah.
other room, that's why.
Oh, okay.
Tonight,
Don't listen.
you move, I'll second.
Yes.
You got
Just
it.
make it easy for all.
We have a busy slate tonight, so we had to do a little housekeeping ahead of time. Next, we're going to have the confirmation of Fire Chief John C. Everett as Chief and Fire Inspector. So Laurie, would you like to start?
Yes, I would like to invite John to the podium. John is been chosen as our new fire chief for the town of Kennebunkport. We had a very thorough search process. We certainly have been in a time of transition as of late, and we were looking for a strong leader who certainly had a lot of background and experience in the fire service, but could also help unify our companies and move our department forward. John came very highly recommended. We had 2 interview panels, and he came unanimously recommended from both panels. And we are very, very pleased this evening to have John before us as our new fire chief.
Thank you, I'm glad to be here.
Glad to have you.
John actually resides in our neighboring community. John actually resides in our neighboring community in the town of Kennebunk and has been a member of the Kennebunk Fire Department for decades, we can say.
Yeah.
And you'll see here tonight that he is proudly represented by not only firefighters from our department, but also from our neighboring community, as he is very highly thought of in the fire service.
Okay.
Welcome.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
We're so
Thank you.
excited
Thank
and
you.
so happy.
No, I'm happy to be here. I appreciate the faith you guys have shown in me and through the process. And I'd like to thank everybody from across the way and from Kennebunkport Department that's here. I really appreciated it. Thank you.
This is fantastic, very impressive.
Before we have the confirmation, I would just like to take a moment to thank the district chiefs, Scott Langtang, James Burrows, and Noel Graydon, and really all of the officer corps who got us through this difficult past couple of years. They all stepped in and never asked why me or how much do you need done, but how can I be of help and how can we work together to get us to the other side. And they have, without them, we would not be where we are today. And I just really want to stop for a moment and thank them as well. So after the confirmation vote and fire inspector vote, we will have the 3 district chiefs pin our new fire chief.
Ready? I'd like to move that we confirm Fire Chief John C. Everett, or as I remember him, J. Everett, to be our new fire chief here in Kennebunkport.
And
Happily
inspector,
second.
and inspector.
And I happily second both of those roles.
All in favor? It's unanimous.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Do you want to administer the oath of office, Tracy?
Thank you, though.
Where do you need me to go?
You need to stand right here and look at them, and they're going to come up.
Oh, first of all, I'd like to thank Jay for accepting this responsibility. I'd also like to thank Laurie Smith as the town manager that worked very well with the process of hiring and stuff. We had, Kennebunkport has got to be grateful because we had a lot of good candidates, and the last 2 were very, very, very capable of handling what we needed. I think we're in a great place right now, and we have a great future in Jay. So I just want to thank Jay.
Appreciate it.
So if you want to just pin one,
All right.
we're not going to do that. We'll just pin it on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll let's take it off.
I haven't already retracted in pain yet.
Awesome.
All right, can we have you guys stand together? Get a little closer. Like, you know.
Short guy in front.
Well, you don't have to do this, but do it like this.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure I'm wild about this way. There you go, that closer. There we go, perfect.
I'm wild about my profile, though.
Okay, that's fine. Smile.
Yeah.
So we can't put the podium in here. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to the town.
Thank you very much.
Thank you to all who came out tonight, especially the firemen from Kennebunk. We appreciate the support. So the next item on the schedule is to have a public forum, and it's an opportunity for anyone who wants to address the Board of Selectmen with any issue that is not on the agenda. If there are anyone that would like to speak, step up to the podium. Seeing none, we will move right on. Next, consider a renewal liquor license application submitted by the Seaside Hotel Association, Ltd., DBA Nonanum Resort, 95 Ocean Avenue.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? I want to also remind everyone that these have all been carefully checked and approved by, the fire chief, fire inspector, code enforcement officer, Tracy O'Rourke. Everybody, their papers are in order. And so the next item is to consider a renewal special amusement permit application submitted by the Tina Hewitt Gordon Seaside Hotel Association, Ltd., DBA, Nonanum Resort, 95 Ocean Avenue.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Next, we'll consider a renewal of a liquor license application submitted by Noonan's Lobster Hut Incorporated, 9 Mills Road.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Next is to consider a renewal liquor license application submitted by Mabel's, Inc., DBA Mabel's Lobster Claw, 124 Ocean Avenue.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Next will be consider a renewal of a liquor license application submitted by Allison's/Dock Square Ltd., DBA Allison's Restaurant, 11 Dock Square.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Next would be to consider renewal of a special amusement permit application submitted by Allison's/Dock Square Ltd., DBA Allison's Restaurant, 11 Dock Square.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Next is to consider a renewal liquor license application submitted by SBJC LLC, DBA Bandaloop, 2 Ocean Avenue.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Next is consider renewal of a special amusement permit application submitted by SBJC LLC, DBA Bandaloop, 2 Ocean Avenue.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Next is to consider a renewal liquor license application submitted by OWR LLC / Kathleen Spang, DBA Ocean Woods Resort / PJ's Pub and Dining, 71 Dyke Road.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Next would be to consider a special amusement permit application submitted by OWR LLC / Kathleen Spang, DBA Ocean Woods Resort / PJ's Pub and Dining, 71 Dyke Road.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? And next will be to consider Games of Chance license application for fundraising casino night, one night, sponsored by the Education Foundation of the Kennebunks and Arundel, to be held at the Nonanum Resort.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? And the next, we're going to authorize and sign the June 2018 town meeting warrant. But first, we're going to read the articles.
So I will have Tracy O'Rourke come to the podium. In your packet, you have the warrant for the town meeting. There are some articles, some of them are annual housekeeping articles that we still need a vote on. And if you use your warrant as a guide, Tracy will take you through the votes that are necessary. And then once that is complete, you can authorize the warrant.
Okay, so we'll start on page 3. Article 2 is the first one that needs to be approved, and then you'll go down through each one through number 44. And then after that's done, you'll vote on it as a whole document to be posted as the warrant for the June election.
We'll be glad to do that. So the way we're going to handle this to move things along expeditiously is I will say Article 2 as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Done. Next is Article 3 as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 4 as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 5 as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 6 as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 7 as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 8 as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 9 as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 10 as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 11 as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 12 as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 13 as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 14 as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 15 as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 16 as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 17 as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 18 as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 19 as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 20 as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 21 as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 22 is written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 23 is written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 24 is written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 25 is written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 26 is written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 27 is written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 28 is written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 29 is written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 30 as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 31 is written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 32 as written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 33 is written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 34 is written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 35 is written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 36 is written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 37 is written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 38 is written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 39 is written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 40 is written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 41 is written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 42 is written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 43 is written.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Article 44 as written.
So moved.
Second.
And final, we'll take a motion to accept all of the articles for the town warrant.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we move all the articles for the town warrant.
Second.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Did,
Perfect.
oh, well, that's close enough.
Perfect is close enough.
Yeah.
You set a high standard.
Yeah.
Okay, that took care of that.
You gotta set the public meeting date.
Yep. Let me find my cheat sheet. I gotta figure out where we are. Where we are on the.
You were so efficient at that. You
Yeah, I
lost
just
your
blew
place.
right through a bunch of them, didn't I? Okay. Next, the item 17 to set the public hearing date to consider the warrant articles for the June town meeting ballot for May the 10th, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Nobody said anything, okay. Countersign the RSU 21 budget validation referendum election warrant.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Yeah, I want to make sure I'm not overlooking something here. Okay, item 19 is consider resolution of intent to reimburse expenditures for the construction of the Parks and Recreation Building with the proceeds of tax-exempt bonds.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Where the heck is my, there we go. Now, as a courtesy, we're going to review the town attorney's response to the letter regarding Kings Highway addressing. Laurie, would you talk about that?
Yes, we had been discussing, probably last year now, the readdressing of Kings Highway. And one of our citizens, Brendan Donovan, brought forward some concerns about that. Earlier this year, he asked that the information he provided be sent to the town attorney for comment, which we did, and she responded. And so after a few issues in scheduling, we are here tonight, and I believe Mr. Donovan is in the audience, who wanted a chance to respond to our town attorney's letter of review.
So, would you like to respond? If so, please come up to the podium.
Thank you. As I understand it, the issue that we're talking about is strictly the renumbering issue and the necessity to renumber the issue for public safety, fire, police, not to correspond to anything else. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay. As a homeowner at 238 Kings Highway, I do not perceive of a problem. There are approximately 254 houses on Kings Highway, of which 15 may have post office issues that Lori Smith pointed out. I think she said 20, I said 10, and we agreed to split it at 15. I mean, that's my recollection of a conversation that took place 2 or 3 months ago. I've spoken to Craig Sanford, the chief of police. I've spoken to the late Alan Moyer, both of whom did not see it as a major issue, i.e. the renumbering of Kings Highway. I spoke to Dick Stedman this morning, and he was hesitant to make a comment simply because there's a new chief coming in, i.e. today, and he didn't want to make a comment before the new chief could review the issue. But I mean, Kings Highway is approximately 258 homes. I pay just under $10,000 in real estate taxes. Maybe I'm a little on the high side as relates to the average, but I think it's safe to say that the renumbering homes we're talking about generate $2.5 to $3 million in tax revenues. And these individual homeowners are not being given a chance to express their comments strictly because 9 times out of 10, these are secondary homes, and the people simply aren't here. And if you would, if you would like to hear the comments of the approximately 250 people, I think if we waited 6 weeks, more of those people would be up here and could attend. But if you hold a meeting in December and January, okay, and publish it in the York County Co-Star, which is how I found out about it, the 250 people, our taxpayers, can't make their comments heard. I have probably spoken to 25 or 30 of them, and all of them see absolutely no reason why this has to be done. The previous postmaster, who's left and has been replaced, he moved on to a bigger facility. His words were, "This is ludicrous." And in fact, he had never been approached by any member of the town to get his comments. And this is the postmaster. And I have here a layout of Kings Highway. I also have a layout of Ocean Avenue. These are public documents. If you want to see something that adds confusion, take a look at the plot plan for Ocean Avenue versus Kings Highway. And there's no question where the confusion lies. And if you would like to see them, I would gladly give them to you.
I don't understand your point. You are not the only road that is going to be subject to renumbering.
Excuse me. I said from the beginning that my understanding it was that the issue at hand tonight and every meeting I've attended has been the renumbering of Kings Highway.
That's because
Nothing
you're the
more.
first one that we are dealing with, sir.
I'm sorry?
That's because it's my understanding that this is the first road that we're dealing with.
That has not been discussed to anybody that I'm aware of. It's not in any publication. It's not in any town document because I've asked.
Well, we have Jimmy Burrows here. He's in charge of the renumbering committee. Maybe he'd like to speak to this.
Brendan, but before I don't know that that's absolutely necessary to have Jim come up, because we've been through this, and we've read
Yes.
your notes, and we've seen your plot plans of different areas of town. And as a board, we place a very high degree of significance on the recommendations of our EMS people. And when an emergency person comes before us and tells us that, the numbering, there's an important issue with regards to the numbering of streets, we take it pretty seriously. And, frankly, there's a very big difference between the mission that the EMS people have and the mission that the post office has. And the timeliness of their response is obviously different. So what is it that, I understand there's a small inconvenience associated with changing addresses and.
A small
I've been through
inconvenience?
it. My street was renamed. I've been through it before myself. In fact, I've been through it in a couple of places, but here in town I've been through it. And, I found that it wasn't that big a deal. I mean, it was a nuisance and there was
Do
a
you have a
couple
life
of.
insurance policy?
I beg your pardon?
Do you have a life insurance policy?
Brendan, I'm not gonna go into all of
No,
that.
no,
It's
no,
really
I'm just
unimportant.
saying, there are certain documents, gas credit cards, American Express cards, that all have to be changed.
Sir,
no,
I just
I get
renumbered
it.
my house from a post office to a street, and I have all of the things that you're talking about. And I found my mortgage didn't change, my life insurance policy didn't change, nothing changed. I understand that you're upset about this, but you can't hold everybody on your street in, I don't know, Stu, what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, you're putting other people at risk because you don't want to spend $10 and change the number on your house because you don't want to do it. Your street, as many of the streets in
Sir,
this town.
sir.
And I own property on Mills Road, and I have a rear address at a property I own, and I'm looking forward to that being changed to a real number because it's very difficult to get deliveries. It's difficult for people who don't know where it is to find it. And I sympathize with you. Please, don't think that I don't. But when we take decisions here, we have to look at the greater good. And so far, you are the only person. And I know people aren't here, but believe me, we get mail every week from people who are out of state who tell us, well, I own a house and I pay taxes, and I appreciate that. And we hear all the time from people, but I have not heard from anybody else on Kings Highway other than yourself.
Because they're not here.
They-
The only publication that I have read is something in the York County Coast Star.
But by your
written
own
by a-
admission, you
Written by a
just-
person by the name of Mr. Harrington.
Mr. Donovan, by your own admission, you just told us you spoke to at least 25 residents or
Yes.
25 people on the road. I have not heard from one of them. I have an email address, my phone number all of our phone numbers are right on the town website. And believe me, it wouldn't be the first time somebody's called me up and chewed me out one ear through the other. That's part of our job here. We accept that. But
Sir.
I can hear the peepers behind my house, but I haven't heard anybody from out of state call me and say,
Sir, I would just like to make a general comment, okay? We're having a intelligent, professional discussion about this issue, and I don't appreciate giving me the impression I'm being talked down to.
well, it works both ways.
If I could, Brendan, your opinion and your position is a very important one to us, and we've listened to it and we've read. You've actually done an amazing job, frankly, of supplying a lot of background and a lot of data and a lot of information that I know every one of us has regarded very carefully, and it certainly weighs in our consideration, no question. But there are other matters, and while you hold a very strong opinion on this, it is one viewpoint and one side of the topic, and we will absolutely give it every bit of consideration it deserves.
But I started out my comments saying we're here talking about one issue, the renumbering of Kings Highway.
Right, that's all it
Okay?
is right now.
I've now heard streets.
Well, but Brendan, I think what Ed was trying to say was simply that this is not something that's isolated just to Kings Highway, that it's going to be faced by others in town as well, and that this argument and your arguments, all right and correct and valid, will be made by others that we will also have to weigh and consider. And I think, through the course of this process, as we go street to street, when these recommendations come before us, we'll have many of the same considerations. And frankly, I hope everyone's done as much homework as you have, because it's very helpful to give consideration to that data.
But I'm not If you would like to hear from other people, why don't you make it semi-convenient for them to come?
Honestly, just for me, I can't imagine anyone being more thorough than you.
Excuse me, that's me. That's Brendan R. Donovan.
I know, but I can't imagine anyone being more thorough than that. I think you've presented an amazing case. If they had hired you, I don't know if they could do better.
No, but I've heard references this evening that, it's me, and you haven't heard from anybody else.
Well, Mr. Donovan, let's say this very simply. You've been here, at least 4 times.
No, I've been here, this is at best my third time.
Correct. You came and left a letter with us one night when you
Okay,
had a
okay.
personal family emergency, and we said, yes, thank you for the letter. We will take it into account. We will see you at a convenient time, which is tonight.
And I appreciate your
To be that. So
consideration.
we've done everything we can to accommodate comments that you've made. But in looking back over everything, there isn't anything that you've added new to this. We've run everything by our legal counsel, and the town is well within its state guidelines, the E-911 guidelines, to do exactly what we're proposing to do. So there is no other option that we have going forward. You know, I understand what you're saying, but I don't see any way we're going to change our mind. So,
Brendan, what the chair has just said is really what we're down to. We're down to 2 choices. We do what we've been requested to do by our EMS people. Okay, our emergency management team has said, this is what we need you to do. And we have to weigh that on balance against convenience questions and issues. And you know, we obviously want to do the right thing for everybody, but I have to say the scales tip a little bit more heavily in favor of the emergency team.
well, you know, I think if you look back over the opportunities we've had for dialogue on this, we have done everything that we possibly can to accommodate your views, which are essentially the same as when you first started. And I don't know what more you expect from us, but I think we've reached the point where
Could I ask a simple question?
we've reached the point, Mr. Donovan, where this is it.
Call me
I mean,
Brendan, please. No, but could I? Okay. Who owns Kings Highway and/or those roads?
Who,
Who
That's a
owns?
question that's bigger than this board at this time can answer.
It's beyond my pay grade.
Well, I think it should be answered because here's a document from the state that says the residents.
Brendan, I think you read the newspapers, and I think that you also will recognize that there's a great deal of question sometimes as to who owns what, and we're not really.
Being in the real estate business, that is a good.
We're not here tonight in a position to be able to interpret documents or make any sort of judgment based on that.
Amy's opinion did not make reference to this.
Is that something that we haven't seen?
I don't know.
Brendan, I'm sorry. Believe me, if we could renumber the street and leave your house alone, I would be for that.
I'm not
but-
asking for that.
But I don't know how to do it.
No, I'm not asking for that, nor have I ever asked for that, nor will I ever ask for that.
well, let's
understand
just say, you know, in summary, we've done everything we can to accommodate your views. We've considered them. We've reviewed them with legal counsel. We're at the point now where there is nothing more we have to offer with you other than we're within our own authority as a town to do this, and we're planning to do this. So, you know, I'm sorry, but that's the story, and that will be all there is to say about it.
Okay.
Thanks,
Thank you very,
Art.
thank you very,
And
very
Brendan, I
much.
was sincere when I said thank you for the information, because you really did do quite
Yeah.
a job at giving us all the facts we needed to be able to weigh it fairly.
Thank you.
Agreed. Thank you. Okay. The next item would be consideration of joint animal control officer with the town of Kennebunk. Would you like to say something there?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Dave Conway is currently our animal control officer, and he has let us know that he will be resigning from that position in June of this year. The chief and I, police chief and I, have been reviewing what we may do in order to meet the requirements of the animal control officer position in the future. One was an idea to look at sharing animal control with the town of Kennebunk. They have an animal control officer who I believe on their ballot this June will be looking to make that a full-time position. The police chief and town manager in Kennebunk were open to that idea, and in fact, they brought it before their Board of Selectmen on Tuesday evening of this week, and the board was very supportive of that. They understand that we have done our best to estimate the number of hours in a given year we may need, and also what cost constraints that we have in regard to our current budget. And what we are proposing is a 6-month trial period from July through December to see how that works. And if it does, we'd certainly look to continue that.
Well, thank you. I would look for a motion to
So
do that.
moved.
Second.
All in favor? We will try it. Thank you. Next will be consider the Goose Rocks Beach Advisory Committee's recommendation to expend $3,000 for a plover volunteer coordinator position. So we want to hear from Bob.
Hi, I'm Bob Sherman from the Beach Advisory, a member of the Beach Advisory Committee. I don't have to say anything if you're going to approve this, so just.
So moved.
Second.
Amen,
All in
brother.
favor?
Here we go.
No, it's great. I mean, I'll tell you what.
Favor? All in favor?
All in favor, yeah.
Yes,
You have,
absolutely.
you have our support.
Thank you. We appreciate that. It's just so you know, this is someone who will be
It's a great
dedicated
program.
to Goose Rocks Beach, and as you know, the plovers are an issue. And as a data point, Sunday, there were 3 plovers already spotted on the beach, already feeding at the edge of the water. So it's timely for consideration. Thank you very much for doing that.
Well, thank you very much, Bob. The next item is the Goose Rocks Beach Advisory Committee recommendation to place a speed trap temporary.
Is that a Freudian slip?
Yes. A temporary speed bumps on New Biddeford Road.
Okay. This will take just a little longer. I just made some notes. This is the 6th year that the Beach Advisory Committee has been in place, and I think for 5 of those years, excessive speeds on New Biddeford Road have just been an issue presented to us. Let me briefly describe the problem, if I may. New Biddeford Road is to the east, and Dyke Road to the west are the 2 roads that bring people from Route 9 down to Goose Rocks Beach on Kings Highway. New Biddeford Road was only 0.8 of a mile long. The road has a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit when you get off Route 9 and heading toward the beach, which stretches all the way down to just about where Binnacle Hill is in place, and then it drops to 25 miles an hour for the rest of the way down. A few years ago, the town helped us very much to improve the pathway that walks along what is the west side of New Biddeford Road as you go down, but it brings a lot of people down in and toward the beach as well. As another data point, I need to keep in mind the beach use agreement, which specifies 37 parking spaces on New Biddeford Road, starting at Kings Highway and then heading back toward New Biddeford Road. 14 of those are between Kings Highway and where the little creek crosses. The other 23 are on the other side of that creek and reach, just close to where the property is and the entry is to Binnacle Hill. And so that's quite a stretch. We have had people complain on both ends. People are traveling very fast coming off of Route 9 in a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit, which is the speed limit established until you get to what is basically a little past Binnacle Hill, in which the speed limit drops to 25 miles an hour. We get a lot of pedestrians. We get a lot of people who, and it's dangerous on many points. Bicycle riders. People loading and unloading their cars. It's just like Kings Highway in the summer. And of course, on Kings Highway, you have the road, you have the parking, you have a small travel lane, and then you have the sidewalk again. And it's narrow, very narrow. One of the folks who lives at New Biddeford Road in those first 7 houses said, look, I can't even back out of my driveway without having my husband come stand there, tell me that there's no traffic coming down the street in order for me just to safely get back out onto the street. We also note that people have complained several times about the high speed of traffic in the 30-mile-an-hour zone. So the Beach Advisory Committee has voted and recommended to add a speed bump. The placement of the speed bump, the type of the speed bump, possibly the number of speed bumps, really need to be looked at by people who are professionals in understanding where speed bumps can be placed in order to have the most effect on what's happening at on New Biddeford Road. I don't honestly know if we should have a speed bump coming in from Route 9 into the 30-mile-an-hour zone and then slowing to 25 miles an hour. I don't know whether we should have a speed bump that comes from Kings Highway when you first get in, because that's where most of the people are parking, that's where most of the cars are being unloaded. It may take 2 speed bumps, but we'd surely like to have it looked at carefully, and we'd surely like to see some level we think speed bumps, and I think we've talked with Lori about using seasonal speed bumps. There may be 2, it may be they're portable, there may be not portable, you may not want year-rounds, you may want the ones that have long humps on them so that they're not terribly difficult. We don't quite have the solution, but we know it's a need, and we would sure appreciate your support in trying to see what you think would be the best. I can tell you that the Beach Advisory Committee members, the people who live along New Biddeford Road, will be terrifically supportive of whatever you guys can come up with or you think could be put into that place. That's what we're thinking about here.
Well, Bob, thank you. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, have you talked to Chief Sanford or to Mike Claus
Well,
about
we're
it?
going to ask Mike to come up.
Okay. 'Cause I don't have a problem with it, but obviously we can't have them year-round or they won't be able to plow.
Well, that's
Well,
what
let's
I've
see
heard.
Let's
but-
see what Mike has
Yeah.
to say. I think, we can play what if until we hear from the expert.
You're the expert, Mike.
Yes,
Mike Claus, Kennebunkport Public Works.
expert.
So, looking at speed bumps on New Biddeford Road, we can certainly put them in, but you need to be careful about how you do it. Probably the nearest example we've had is over at Fortune's Rocks. If you've been over there in the summer, they have Biddeford's put in a couple speed bumps, speed humps over there. They've had them in for a couple summers now, with I think pretty good success in certain areas and less success in other areas.
And those are the removable ones?
Those are removable ones. The ones that, there's a company called Traffic Logix, which if you want to look at it, the Logix is spelled Logix. They're the ones, if you see those blinking radar signs that are all around southern, southern Maine and New England, as they, that company makes speed bumps, speed humps, speed cushions, and they're also, our sign company is a distributor of their products, so they're pretty easy to get, we can get good technical support from them on those, and I think they're good products.
Any idea on the cost on one of those?
It really varies on how extensive you want to get. And also, I think we need to talk to the emergency services. They make something called a speed cushion, which is a narrower speed bump that's designed to get fire trucks and ambulances through a traffic calming area at regular speed. Generally speaking, just speed bumps are things that try to get you down to around 5 miles an hour. Speed humps are going to go get you down to around 10 to 15 miles an hour. And speed cushions are designed to get you down to 15 to 20 miles an hour. So we really need to sit down and say, well, what's our objective here? What's a realistic objective for slowing traffic down? And where would you put these and where do you need them? And I think we can, work with the Beach Advisory Committee to, and our police department, our fire department to say, this product is in the right spot that'll work for us.
I was going to say, with your help and the other consultations, Laurie could work out something that we can do to slow down the traffic on the road.
I think what makes sense is to, Mike's brought up some excellent points, and to work with our Public Safety Committee, and also look at some potential locations, and then come back to you at another meeting.
Okay.
Yes.
And we can certainly do this. It's not that
Bob's that good?
difficult. Where's Bob? There he
I was
is.
gonna say, I just want to appreciate the fact that you guys have heard us. Thank you very much for doing this. Mike, you've been awesome. We've worked with Mike before on other issues at Goose Rocks, and I just really appreciate the support. This is a fairly dangerous situation because the amount of traffic, the summer is particularly acute, anything you can do to help us here that makes sense, and I trust my experience is great. Thank you very much.
Well,
Thank
I
you.
need a motion to put up temporary speed bumps on.
Well, no, I think we need to wait, and especially after what Mike said about how slow the traffic is and with
I think Lori's gonna look
EMS and,
for it to come back before.
Yes.
us.
Okay, it'll come back for the vote
Yeah.
then.
Correct.
Okay, that's right.
and then we'll hopefully have a dollar amount as well.
True.
We'll take it out of the Goose Rock speech.
And a good plan. Good plan is
think-
always important.
A good plan is always helpful. Okay, next item would be to consider appointments for the Short-Term Rental Housing Committee. And Laurie, would you like to open that up?
Sure. So, back in March, it feels like it's still March, doesn't it? You authorized a short-term rental housing committee. And the purpose of the housing committee was to examine the impact of short-term rentals in our community, look at all sides of that issue, kind of compare what other municipalities in the state are doing and figure out what may make sense to do here, if anything at all. And so we asked for some committee members. You know, we were looking for a range of probably a committee of about 5 to 7, as we have a short time frame window here. We're looking at about a 9-month window for them to bring back recommendations in time for consideration for the 2019 town meeting. And we were fortunate to get quite a number of applicants from a variety. I think that Werner and I's recommendation is that the committee should have a makeup of different perspectives. And so we think that there should be some people with a citizen perspective in terms of a residential user. There should be some people from who have rented their home perhaps or are part of the rental industry. We talked about the work that we've done on the rumor provisions in the ordinance, and that there are some people who have gone through that process and been authorized to be roomers, and that they might have contribution. And there's also the aspect of the bed and breakfast and inns, etc. So with that in mind, we'd be looking for a mix of members. I think that there are a couple of people who seem very highly qualified, but they also, I don't believe, are current residents in town. They're constructing homes, and so whether or not that plays into your decision-making or not, we just wanted to make you aware of that. I think that they all had very good backgrounds and great statements, and so the question is, what would make the best committee in order to move us forward?
Mr. Chairman, if I may, I've gone through all of the applications, and I gotta echo what Lori said. It's amazing for a committee that's kind of just come up like this,
Right.
to have so many really great candidates.
We have other committees available too, so that you're on
And that's the hell of it, right?
Right,
So
we wish we
don't
got so
wanna-
many applicants on all the
Exactly.
committees.
So if for any reason your name isn't one of these, we have another job for you. So if I could, just to get the ball moving, I'd love to throw some names out there and just for consideration purposes. So the categories would be renters, individual renters or people who either rent or rent from, the Goose Rock's beach area, roomers, and citizens. And the way I kind of thought through this process would be, for the renters, I'd like to nominate David Nesher and Linda Flint. For Goose Rock's Beach, Bill Yonker and Susan Hill. For the roomers, Marlene Rome. And then for citizens, Ann Hand and Jane Evelyn. And then Sheila, because she's not here,
right.
as the B&B Selectmen representative.
I think we had one more, Stu.
What's that?
Didn't we have one more?
That
Did we?
gives
Nope.
us
1, 2, 3, 4,
No,
5,
there was
6,
one I
7.
wanted to see on there. I told you the gentleman, too much paper tonight.
Well, we want to keep it to a maximum.
No, but let me.
This was the name.
This was the name.
Oh, is that the one I
That's
gave
the
you?
one.
Okay, my bad.
Okay. I think we got you covered. Let's
All
go
right,
ahead.
thank you.
Would you like to second that?
I would love to second that.
All in favor?
And that was the easiest committee we've ever.
Yes, yes.
Sure. And like I said before, for anyone who is interested in service, we definitely have a job for you. So for the renter category, David Nesher and Linda Flint. For GRB, Bill Yonker and Susan Hill. For the roomers, Marlene Rome. And for the citizens, Ann Hand and Jane Evelyn. And then Sheila as the selectman rep, but also the B&B and Inns consideration.
Right.
Yeah, great idea.
All right. I think that's a good, broad spectrum. Thank you very much. All right, the next item will be to consider authorization to proceed with the seawall and culvert outlet repairs on Ocean Avenue. And this is a combination of Mike and Laurie to talk about what's at stake here.
Yes, I'm still writing names down. So, I wanted to ask Michael Claus to come to the podium. And as you know, we had some rather large storms and we had flooding as well as wave damage in the month of March. And Public Works has been out investigating that damage and has a recommendation to repair 3 portions of the seawall on Ocean Avenue.
If you, it's the seawall just near where Haverhill comes down onto
Right.
Ocean Avenue. What happened there is just high waves came up and hit that wall and knocked out some of the rocks in the wall, eroded the ends by the culvert, and washed out a little bit of the footing. I went there with George Burr. I think it's all fixable. I think, and it probably should be done sooner rather than later. We haven't had a FEMA evaluator in to look at it yet, but I think this will qualify as emergency work. We've taken pictures of it, and so we have documented the damage, and I think that they'll, if we repair it, they will pay for it as, they will accept it as emergency repairs.
Excellent.
Okay, Laura?
Do we need a movement?
No, she might have comments.
So the total amount is just about $9,500. It is over the amount that I can authorize, and so we're looking for authorization from the board to move forward with George Burr.
All right. Do we need the exact amount or the 9,500?
Well, no more than $10,000.
Okay. Well, I authorize us to spend up to $10,500 to repair the wall at, on Ocean Avenue.
I'll
Use-
second Ed's motion.
All in favor? Thank you, Mike. The next will be to approve the treasurer's disbursement warrant policy. Laurie?
State statute allows the Board of Selectmen to adopt a policy in order for them to sign a weekly payroll warrant along with associated vendors. And the policy must be readopted each and every year, and it is time for you to adopt your treasurer warrant dispersal policy so that one of you can sign the payroll warrant.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Yay, payday. Okay. The next item will be to consider the government wharf budget. We've got $8,250, and
Big spenders.
yeah, it is. Laurie?
Yes, so the government wharf budget is before you. The membership dues would stay the same as last year, and the total expenditure is $8,250 is what we propose, and that would be using $2,025 from the government wharf fund balance.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? The next item is to consider the wastewater budget. And
Mis-
Laurie may have
Mr.
comments.
Claus, the Director of Public Works, will be to the podium to discuss the wastewater budget.
Back again. This is our operations budget, and it pretty much reflects increases in our personnel lines. That's what you see for the 2.67. Our heating fuel is up, and that's based on our actual usage. And we've moved some money from chemicals to odor control. We've started doing year-round at Goose Rocks. We had budgeted for every 3 months, 3 times a year to do odor control, but we're moving it up to year-round, and we're adding it in the winter. We had been paying for that odor control out of chemicals, so we're just reallocating that money from chemicals to odor control to reflect what we're doing.
I would say the one big change in the budget this year is this is the first year for the sewer bond payment for the $2 million that we took out to do the pump stations and treatment plant upgrades. So the portion of the budget that comes from, or the bond payment that comes from the sewer budget is about $46,000. So they've done a great job to keep the increase to under 3% this year.
So we will need a vote on,
You're up, Ed.
I move that we approve the FY19 wastewater budget.
Second.
all in favor? It's been approved. All right, next is to consider the pier budget.
So this is the Cape Porpoise Pier budget, and the expenses are fairly similar to last year. I would say the big difference, or about 65% of the budget, is about on both revenues and expenses, has to do with the gas and fuel, and we have adjusted those accordingly. What we are proposing is that in order to balance the budget, and the Cape Porpoise Pier Committee has met on this budget as well, and we are recommending a fee increase of 25%, and then a balance to be used from the Cape Porpoise Pier Fund balance of $3,529.25 to balance the budget. And the entire budget is $295,642. Is that
So-
correct, Treasurer Lord?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Next is to consider the Dock Square parking lot budget.
The Dock Square parking lot budget is estimated to come in at similar revenues to last year, which was $400,000. The operating expenses, we are seeing a little more in our credit card fees because more people are using credit cards. And our supply lines change based on demand in the parking lot. But I would say they are relatively similar to last year's operating budget. This year, we will have a transfer from the Dock Square parking lot to the general fund of $230,000, which is on par with last year, to pay for the restrooms as well as to offset expenses in the general fund to help support the Dock Square parking lot. This year, we are also proposing a transfer of $80,000 to help offset the purchase of the sidewalk tractor. So half of it would be covered by Dock Square and half by the general fund. So the total expenditure is $356,877, and we are not recommending any fee increase at the parking lot.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? The next item will be to consider the recreation special revenue budget.
This is a great idea.
Yeah,
So Carol Cook is coming up to the
she's on her way.
podium. And as we discussed in the FY19 budget proposal, that this year we are moving some of the program-related expenses and the revenues to a special revenue recreation budget in order to allow us flexibility to respond to program needs, and then transfer out to general fund $80,000 to offset the fixed costs in the Parks and Rec budget. Carol?
Ditto.
So moved.
Second.
I mean, she really explained everything. She had to explain to me exactly what she had in mind, so
I think it's a fantastic idea. It's a great idea.
it will give us much greater flexibility, and it will allow us to be more entrepreneurial in our approach to things, and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, and you all do that so well, so.
Thank you very
All
much,
right.
Carol.
Thank you.
Again,
So moved again.
Second.
all in favor? It's approved.
It's like ranked choice voting. I get to vote twice.
Does that mean we double it?
No. Okay, the next is to consider the invitation to judge the Kennebunkport Consolidated School Amazing Shake Contest on May the 2nd. And we're going to respond, so Laurie?
Yep, the selectmen have been invited to help participate, along with other community members in the Consolidated School Amazing Shake Contest. And Stuart Barwise has agreed to represent the board on May 2nd.
Well,
And
I
I'm
think the
thrilled.
people
I'm
need-
excited
wait,
to do it.
A little background on where this is taking place. It's part of the training, not training so much, but bringing up the children to feel comfortable speaking to people in positions of authority. So it's called the Amazing Shake, so it's the handshake. And you get to shake hands with an official of the town or two or more.
What do I count as two?
No, we're going to have
I've
something.
been trying to lose some weight, you know?
The point is, it's helping the kids mature in a responsible way, I think, so we don't have to
So they're
vote
sending
on
the big scary guy
No,
after them. No, I was thrilled to do it. Frankly, they told me at first when it came out, had something to do with drinks with ice cream in them, so I was like, yes!
Yeah.
Oh, well. No, I'm excited. I love to do things with the kids at Consolidated. It's
Yeah,
very
no,
nice.
look for Stu. He's going to learn how to talk to his grandkids. you know.
Exactly. I need
All
lots
right.
of pointers.
Okay. Next would be to accept a $50 donation from Edwin Briggs, no relation, to the Public Health Nurses General Account.
With many thanks.
Yes.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you, Edwin, wherever you are.
More commonly known as Ed. I've known him a
Oh.
long time. I didn't realize his name was Edwin,
Well-
being an Edward.
Okay, well, there we go.
But
Next is to authorize the town manager to sign the animal shelter agreement. Laurie? There's no increase, mind you.
There is no proposed increase this year, and this is what we have budgeted. State statute requires us to have a place to take animals that are at large, and certainly the Animal Welfare Society does a great job with that.
Fantastic organization.
Yeah, absolutely true.
we need a motion.
I think so.
Yes, I think signed. So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Okay. Any other business? Starting with Jen.
Not for me.
I'm
Not
good.
me. You're good, Laurie.
I would just make sure people are aware that the town offices are closed on Monday, April 16th for Patriots' Day.
Very good. And if there's no other business, we'll approve the April 12th treasurer's warrant.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Move to adjourn.
Can I give you one other?
Yes, yes, yes.
You almost lost your chance there.
I'm sorry. Look who's there.
Oh, my
just-
God.
Not
Boy, I would have
quite.
been in trouble for that one, yeah.
Barbara Barwise of Goose Rocks. Like so many areas of our town, we were badly hurt in the storm, and quite frankly, the whole beach, the roads, everything has been a colossal mess. The crew came in this week. We're back to streets and alleys, and it's looking great. So they've got it all cleaned up, and it really looks terrific.
Oh, that's great to hear.
Well, our
Fantastic.
highway department has been working overtime on that. I mean, there is a lot of damage. You drive around town, you see trees that are split in half and broken down, and you say, my, how did that happen? It's everywhere.
Yeah.
So we've got more to do, but
Yeah.
thank you,
But the beach is great.
thank you. So now adjournment.
Movement to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? We are adjourned
There we go.
at 7:05.
Wow, who'd have thought? 37 items
What's up, Jim?
on the agenda.
Yes. Yeah,
I know, that's right. Actually, Dave,